What's up, guys? It's that guy with the pencil, and let's get into it. So, here's my review, or more so a rambling, about Spider Man Far From Home. I actually really like this movie. In like the second and third of it. Like the first the first third of this movie was the weirdest experience I think I've ever had in cinema coming off of Endgame, and only because of Endgame. Because I was expecting them to take the death of Tony and like all the other heroes that had to die and the tragedy that was the blip as they call it. I was hoping they would take that more seriously, but they honestly didn't. And I was just like, oh, I mean, all right, it's a comedy. I know it would be kind of bad to be all serious and sad after Endgame. So you know what? Sure, go ahead. This is pretty much in the same vein as the Ant Man franchise, where Spider Man's just comedy now, and there really isn't much outside of that. So I went into this movie. I heard really good things about it. I heard it's better than Spider Man 2. I heard it's the best live action Spider Man movie. I heard many, many great things about it. I'm just like, oh, so this movie is going to be actually good. Okay, I can't wait. This should be very, very interesting. Like, all kinds of people were saying good things about it. Like, people I really go to for movie opinions because usually my opinions align with them. It's like, okay, this movie's going to be really, really good. And I get in the movie and I sit down, and if I had to say something from the beginning, this is gonna be like the only no spoiler part because I'm really just gonna hop right on into it. I don't really see the value in a no spoiler part of no spoiler review since after like the first third, it's just all spoilers. I have to give this movie like it's a good movie. Is it the best live action Spider Man movie I've seen? No. Is it the best movie in the MCU? No. Does it have the best villain in the MCU? No. I almost want to say that Jake. I can't even say his last name. I'm sorry. I won't even try. Jake G. He has a fantastic performance as Mysterio. I really found myself getting into his character, like every single bit about that. I found that good. I found Peter Parker good. I found Tom Holland's performance was really darn good as Peter Parker. Um, Other than that, like those are the two main things. The performances. I like what they did with Happy. I was just about to call him John Favreau. I like what they did with him, and yeah, that's really it. I'd give this movie. It's a good movie. Is it the best I've seen? No, and I'm about to get into that now. So here's the first main thing I have with this movie that I just find hilarious and ironic. I like how the Spider-Man movie did scrolls and trickery and illusions way better than the Captain Marvel movie did. I, I was blown away. I'm just like, oh, wow, I actually got tricked there. I was with Peter on that one because I'm so used to that in Marvel movies with the whole. So yeah, I'm just gonna be hopping all around. Let me just go over this real quick. When you hear the gunshot and Nick Fury is walking towards Spider-Man and asks Spider-Man who he told, I got suspicious then because he's asking, yeah, I know you already told people, so just tell me who you told. I'm just like, this seems like a thing Mysterio would say, but I wasn't fully on board. And then Peter gets hit by a train after Mysterio reveals the trickery. I'm just like, okay, okay, that was good. That was really good. And then of course the end scene, but I'll get back to that later. Let me go to what I didn't like about this movie. I don't like how Peter got a sudden obsession with MJ, like out of nowhere. Unless maybe I need to rewatch Homecoming. Maybe this is just a thing I miss. But between Homecoming and now, and like all the other time Peter's appeared, I never remember him having an interest in MJ at all. She's kind of just this weird person that happened to know Peter and studied him and stuff like that. Because he was obsessed with some other girl, the Vulture's daughter. I haven't seen Homecoming in forever. I'm not really the biggest fan of that movie, but we're gonna get to that later. Um, so when like the whole movie opens up with after like disregarding the whole how they treated the blip or how does they call it the snap and stuff like that, disregarding how they treated that, disregarding how they treated all of the Avengers dying and all their hard work and stuff like that, just going into like the romantic plot of this movie, I found it rushed. I found it awkward. I found it well acted. They seemed like Tom Holland and Zendaya seemed like two awkward teenagers that happen to like each other, but I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. I was confused as I watched it. And then there was also this part where I'm confused. Like there's this side guy who was really small before the snap and then was really big after the snap. I'm not sure. Did he like have a growth spurt during the snap? Was that afterward? Because it says they went to the end of the school year, and I honestly have no idea when the field trip was in Infinity War. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just being stupid. I don't know how long has it been since how long has it been since the end of Endgame? It had to at least been a few months. So I guess the guy had that much of a growth spurt over a period of months. I don't know. It's this whole romantic side plot where this one guy likes MJ, also out of nowhere, and Peter's jealous of him, and it takes up too much of the movie, and I don't like it. It seemed dumb. I know it's like a romantic comedy kind of thing, and usually I'm fine with that. I actually kind of like stupid romantic fluff like that. I don't mind that in movies, but when it just came out of nowhere. The MJ and Peter relationship came out of nowhere. And is it me or did they like gut Ned? I actually like Ned. Ned was one of my favorite parts of Homecoming because he seemed like such a loyal friend to Peter. He was always there supporting him, and then suddenly he just seemed flipped in this movie. I don't know. I probably need to rewatch Homecoming and figure that out. See if Ned was always just this uncaring, hi, bachelors in Europe, except for when I get a girlfriend randomly on a plane for toy. How old are these kids? Are they 16? Because they look really young for 16. Okay, yeah. Also, yeah, how everyone else is saying, oh yeah, it's so convenient that all the characters in Peter's class happened to get snapped at the same time. Ha ha ha. I'm just like, yeah, that is convenient, but it's Marvel. I'm kind of used to that convenience, but I'm not used to the MCU rushing things. I don't know. That whole romantic thing was kind of awkward. Came out of nowhere. I don't like it. However, let me get to what I do like. I like Mysterio entirely. I knew he was a villain. There wasn't this. There wasn't. I'm glad I didn't waste time throughout most of the movie being like, "Oh no, Mysterio's actually this nice superhero guy." And I remember when everyone was getting so hyped about, "Oh, the multiverse, Mysterio's gonna introduce it." Blah blah blah. The snap had adverse effects on the universe. I'm just like, it's Mysterio. I don't even think I've ever read a comic with Mysterio, but I know enough offhand information about Mysterio to know that all of that was a lie. I was kind of shocked. Like people were getting excited. I'm just like, well, two things. One, we know that this Earth is like MCU universe, Marvel Universe 19,999. We already know that. Mysterio said like this was Earth 616, and that's a universe that's in the comics that this world is not. So I was just like, yeah, all that's nonsense from the trailer, and I feel bad because I predicted this entire movie from the first trailer that came out. I remember I was sitting with my friends and we watched them, just like, yeah, Mysterio's gonna be a bad guy. He's created all these monsters through illusions and stuff like that. He's gonna trick Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man's gonna realize the trick, and he's gonna come back and get Mysterio back for it. And that was literally the movie. The only thing that kept me caring for this movie was Jake G's. I'm so sorry, Gyllenhaal. I can't say his name. I'm sorry. The only thing that kept me going through this movie was his performance. He was so oddly charismatic and insane that it was beautiful. I love watching those kind of characters and those kind of actors just do their due. And the way that it tied back into the earlier MCU, I also like that because if there's one thing I love about the MCU and comics in general, it's continuity. If they're good with it, it can actually be nice. I know they wrote in Jake G. I don't ever remember. I haven't seen Civil War in a while either, but I don't remember him being in that. So I know he was written into there, but it makes sense. You know, Tony didn't say he made that hologram simulation thing. At least I don't think he did. I think he took credit for it though, and the Obadiah Stane scene, a box of scrap. I don't know. I just like the delivery of that line, so I like seeing that in cinema again. I don't know. That was nice. That was beautiful. That's good. And I like how Mysterio isn't this one man team. He's just this group of people that all have their own individual things. Sure, there was the girl that was ironing the suit. There was a guy who ran the holograms. There was Mysterio himself. But I like how it was like this cohesive unit of people that worked together and made Mysterio what Mysterio was. He was a story. He wasn't real. There was nothing real about him. The fact that in canon, technically, Mysterio was never ever there. It's so weird to think about. But the only time I think he was actually with Peter was like, I think when he was giving everyone the briefing in the shield area he went to with Nick Fury and Maria Hill, and when he was in the bar. I think that was the only time Mysterio was actually there, and every other time he was just in a mocap suit somewhere else. I found that hilarious because I'm wondering, okay, so like Mysterio is doing like the Doctor Strange thing with the blast and everything like that. So I was wondering how he are gonna do that. And using the hologram system was brilliant. I do like that. That was good. That was really good. I just like how they did Mysterio. Mysterio was well done. He's brilliantly acted. He was well thought out. I like the intricacies of his story. I like what he does at the end. What I also don't like, I I said I like Tom Holland's performance, and I like Tom Holland's performance after he was betrayed. Every time before that, Tom Holland was not Tom Holland, Spider Man, Peter Parker, this young genius was so dumb and gullible, and it may just be me. I understand he's 16, but all this man wanted was to be an Avenger. This was his whole introduction to the MCU. He wanted to help people. That's all he wanted to do. If I'm he said it in Civil War. If you have the power to stop the bad things and you don't do it, it's your fault at that point. So when Nick Fury comes to him and asks him, "Yes, you were made an Avenger. It's time for you to do your due," and Spider Man's complaining, I'm just like, what did you expect? Everyone's dead. Like the main event, Iron Man dead, Captain America old, new Captain America I don't know, Bucky I don't know, Captain Marvel I love how. Side note, I love how Nick Fury said, "Don't invoke her name." I love that because it just makes me picture that he just will just say Captain Marvel at times, and now she's just in that general area, so she'll just randomly pop in and say, "Fury, you called." I like that. That's the one thing I do like. I'm surprised Peter didn't mention like Scarlet Witch or like, but Hawkeye's retired. Hulk is. I'm not sure. Is Hulk still down in arm? I don't know. But like everyone else is kind of out of commission, or you just forgot to mention them. Doctor Strange also was weird. I don't know. It seems so disjointed in the way that Peter went from Avenger this, Avenger that. I want to help people, yada yada yada. This is my power. I'm going to use great power from great responsibility. I'm going to do it and help people too. I want to enjoy my summer vacation. I understand. The guy was traumatized, all right? He saw his, I guess, third father figure. I'm not sure what Peter's deal with his parents is in the MCU. I'm not sure if he knew him at all, or that he was just instantly orphaned to Aunt May and Uncle Ben. If Uncle Ben even exists, I don't know. We saw a suitcase, but whatever. So if he lost his like third father figure in Tony, he watched him die in his arms. He was crying. I understand. He was traumatized, and maybe he did want a break, but he had a. It seems bad, but he had a whole school year to get that break. He has to understand the gravity of the situation. And what makes this worse, what compiles onto that he went from "I want to help people" to "No, I'm a selfish teenager" all over again. What makes this worse is that he's given like this multi-billion-dollar. He's given Edith the glasses that give him access to all these drones and stuff like that. And I was worried the moment he got those because I was just like, the way this Peter is going, this is not going to end well. Something stupid is going to happen with these glasses. And when he called the drone in by accident and nearly killed his classmate, I'm just like, there's like in that mid movie, I was just like, either he's gonna do something smart with these, and he's just gonna leave them be and understand their danger like a smart person and not do anything risky with them. No, he just gives them to this man he just met. Mysterio's a hero, his family and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. You met him like 2 days ago, and you're giving him the legacy of Tony Stark, the person you respect more than anything in the world. The Uncle Ben of the MCU, you practically just spat on by giving up his glasses. Oh, Tony gave them to me to give them to someone else. No, he didn't. You should know better than anyone that he chose you. He gave you all the resources to do something with this, and yet you didn't, because you were just a teenager that wanted to go and enjoy your summer vacation. I understand. He is a teenager. He makes dumb decisions. But maybe it'd be something if the drone strike hadn't happened. Like if that hadn't happened, like if he didn't know the danger that came with Edith and what giving them over to someone else would be like, that'd be one thing. But no, he fully understands. That was just one drone. He must have known there were more. He knew Tony didn't just leave him with one drone. He had the most high tech glasses on the planet that gave him backdoor access to everything in existence. And he was just like, nah, let me just give these up to this random person I just met. Also, Peter was taking off his mask a lot. I know Nick Fury was just like, everyone already knows he's here, so you can take it off. But walking into a random bar full of people, I don't care if you're Night Monkey right now. You still have a secret identity. I don't know. Peter was just dumb throughout a majority of this movie. He was either dumb, selfish, or yeah, just dumb and selfish. That was really it. That's really what I didn't like. I was just, oh, all right, you don't care anymore. Well, I care. You're being dumb, and that was really that. Um, but if I had to praise the directors of this movie and the writers, they finally addressed the spider sense. They called it the Peter Tingle or whatever because then it's a comedy, ha 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 ha. And I know like a lot of people bring up that scene in Civil War where Spider-Man just instinctively ducks. I think it was Bucky's. No, it wasn't Bucky's. It was like Falcon's drone or something like that. And he instinctively ducks it, and he gets played out with his spider sense. But so it did exist, but it didn't. I don't know. Like Peter said, it shut off, but I don't think that's. I can't even say I don't think how this works because I don't know how it works in MCU. He kind of just awoke it. It was like you had a level 1 and then he leveled up after his fight with Mysterio and now he has spider sense. I. It seemed weird. It seemed like a weird development. It's like if Homecoming Peter didn't have his web shooters throughout a majority of it and then boom he gets his web shooters. Like they took away an iconic part of the character. One of the main things that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, and they took that away just to plant it in on him right there. I mean, it worked from a character developmental standpoint, I guess, because now he's more aware. Like it woke him up. He's more aware of the evils of the world, and now he gets the spider sense so he can dodge. So, like, I get the thematic usage behind that, but it's not like he was unaware. As Nick Fury said himself, he went to space. Like this isn't new news for him. He should know that the world is a dangerous place. He's been through Infinity War. He's been through Endgame. He's been through Homecoming. He's been through Civil War. He knows all these things, but he just Peter Parker seems weak in this movie. Weak mentally, weak ideologically, and almost I don't want to say weak physically because he did like manhandle all those drones and hold up an entire building. But it's stuff like that. I don't know. I did not like how Peter was. In the second half of the movie, he became good. He got the spider sense. He went through that traumatic thing when the best scene in the movie happens and Mysterio goes, "Oh, I'm the illusion god. Fear my wrath." That was cool. That was cool. I like that. That was fantastic. I love that entire scene from the moment Peter walks into that building and it all starts to crumble down. That was fantastic. Other than that, afterwards, I like the set piece that was it London? I think it was London. Yeah, it was London. I like that whole London set piece. That was nice. I think I saw this spider armor on that plane that Happy brought for Peter. I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna wear that because for some reason my mind had a mental disconnect from the real world, like not knowing that he hadn't worn the black suit throughout that entire movie. Also, the Iron Spider suit is kind of just sitting in his room in a weird container. I don't know how that worked, because whatever. That's an offhand detail. So yeah, I'm trying to think on what else that I really want to talk about with this movie before getting into the end credit scenes, like the only real things that matter. I like how when at the end, I like how Mysterio never gave up. Like he was determined down to his last breath that yes, I'm going even after his death, he made sure that everything went his way. I like that. I like a villain that doesn't give up. I do. I like characters that don't give up. I like characters that are crafty, that work hard, and go in with for everything they have, even if they're crazy. Like Mysterio was downright crazy. Stark was right. He was unstable. Stark didn't help it. He really didn't. I don't know what would have happened if Mysterio was just given full reign over Barf or the hologram system, and like Tony just gave him the respect he deserved for making that. If he gave him that, then I feel like Mysterio wouldn't even exist, honestly, because I feel like he was only unstable when provoked to be. So Tony Stark provoked him. So I kind of figured Mysterio was Stark's creation, just like Ultron. Yeah, and I'll give Tony and Peter that they both make their own problems. That's how he followed up in his footsteps because Peter gave Edith up to Mysterio willingly. This massive multi-billion-dollar offensive satellite that could destroy the world. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, I also like how all the other villains were like, whoa, 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 Mysterio, hold on, hold on. Like, we don't need to damage this much. And Mysterio's like, oh no, the more casualties, the more important it'll be. That's nice. I like how these people aren't, like, not human. They understand that. Like, the Mysterio's, like, the only really, like, non-human being among them. He's just a really crafty, well-played character. I like that. And also, and just real quick, the effects in this movie were weird. I know it's mostly CGI, but I felt uneasy watching this movie. Like I think Thanos got me like too comfortable with looking at CGI characters. So now when I saw this movie, I was expecting like the same level of quality that Endgame and Infinity War had with their CGI characters, not including the Black Order. I was looking at, and there were times when I'd look at the suit, whenever Peter was wearing it, and whenever Mysterio was wearing it, and like I could see when it was CGI and when it was real, like when it was actually there, and I could see when they edited the real suit. Like sometimes the suit just wouldn't be there, and it would just be like a full CGI model. I could tell that. I could tell when it was the actual suit edited a bit, and I could tell when it was just the regular suit. And obviously, the regular suit just looked the best. And I understand they can't do that for a lot of it, but there are times when Peter would just be standing around the suit, and they would have edited the suit for some reason. And I looked at the suit in real life, and the suit looks good. Like both his suit and Mysterio's suit look fantastic. And since Peter just pulls the mask off most of the time, it's not like the Iron Spider suit where the mask retracts. He just pulls it off. I don't get why they had to keep CGI in the suit. It doesn't look natural when it's like perfectly coned onto his head. I like it when like you can see his ears popping out, something like that. Like you can see there's an actual human being under there. I prefer that rather than just CGI and everything. But anyway, regardless, MJ and Peter hook up at the end of the movie. I don't care. I really don't. I don't like this version of MJ, and this Peter kind of didn't work towards this at all. They did the swinging scene. I like the swinging. That was nice. But it reminded me of Spider-Man PS4, but a little bit worse. I don't know. And they did that, and they end the movie on that, and then I'm just waiting. I'm waiting, obviously, end credit, and I'm thinking of what could this mid-credit scene be? Like anything really serious? It seems like this movie just wasn't serious at all. Because, yeah, like, Peter goes through this whole arc to end up where he really should have been at the beginning of the movie. He should have had Spider Sense at the beginning of the movie. He should have understood the legacy and weight of his being the second coming of Tony Stark. He should have understood all that, in my opinion, but he didn't, so whatever. So I'm trying to think, and I couldn't think of anything. So it's like, okay, I'll just let the movie do its due. Let me see this mid-credit scene. So they land. He says goodbye to MJ, which is it's so stupid. He doesn't. I feel like he doesn't care about a secret identity. He's just landing in the middle of New York with all these different people who could possibly know who MJ is. If could possibly just figure all that out. MJ is obviously dating Spider-Man, and who's MJ dating actually? Oh, Peter Parker. Let me not correlate that. You know that would be obvious. So they do. What they ended up doing. I liked it. Cause it was J. Jonah Jameson still being J.K. Simmons. I was just like, yes, I love that. He's bald now. That's just because he's getting older. I understand that. I love that. That was really cool. I have this like stupid idea that the reason he's bald is because it's the same J. Jonah Jameson. then just hopped universes after like the original Spider-Man trilogy ended. So he just kept aging. So he popped into this one. I know it's stupid. I just ignore that. I love that. And then of course Spider-Man's a menace, and I'm just like, yeah, Spider-Man is a menace. What do you got for me, JJJ? And he pulls up the Mysterio video, and of course, and Mysterio edited it. I'm wondering when, like, at all. I have no idea when he edited it. I don't know what he used to record anything. I legit just don't know. Um, I saw the guy at the end of the movie. He closed the computer after downloading something. I assume he just sent that to J. Jonah Jameson. But I love how he does. Like he makes it look like obviously that Peter killed all those people, even though it literally. I'm trying to think. Maybe just because I'm following Peter, it wouldn't make sense. Because the drones were attacking people while Spider-Man was doing his Spider-Man thing. Like he couldn't have commanded that, but whatever. The way he turned that all around and said, "Yeah, Spider-Man, he wants to be the only successor to Iron Man. He's the only one that wants to be the only true hero. And by the way, his name's Peter Parker. He's a high school student in Queens." Bang. That was beautiful. I love that because that removed. I don't love it honestly because it removes a lot of attention to Peter hiding his identity, but I like how they did that. Like they addressed that problem I had throughout the entire movie. Peter's being way too loose with his identity. Before he knows, everyone's gonna know, and everyone did end up knowing. So that was nice. I like that. That was good. That was really good. I like how now everybody knows. It ain't a problem. I can't complain about that anymore. Now that everybody knows, and now he has to clear his name. I saw a post somewhere like Matt Murdock in the MCU movies. I'm just like, you wish. Um, but yeah, that's something I really liked about that. Going on to the next credit scene. This is where this movie did Skrulls better than Captain Marvel, and I'm just like, why? Oh, I'm gonna get to that movie. I'm gonna explain my whole plan in a minute. So I'm assuming that's Talos and his wife. Talos and his wife were playing Nick Fury and Maria Hill. I'm guessing. I love Ben Mendelsohn. It's just like he calls up Nick Fury, just like you have to come back. I literally have no idea what I'm doing here now anymore. They keep asking for the Avengers. I don't even know how to spell Avenger. Come on now, dog. You need to come back. And Nick Fury's just chilling on a spaceship somewhere. He's just like, fine, I guess I'll come back. So now this just leaves me with questions. How long has this been a thing? Because Captain Marvel's was a prequel. Captain Marvel was a prequel to like the entire MCU. So did Nick Fury leave World sometime like right after that? I don't think so because it doesn't seem like that Nick Fury had developed into the cold-hearted Nick Fury yet. So I don't think it was that. I don't think it was after that. I'm thinking maybe it was after the initial Avengers incident. He did that. And does this mean that Talos got dusted and not Nick Fury? Does this mean that Nick Fury got dusted and not Talos? Does it mean that Nick Fury went up to the spaceship before or after the? I just don't know. I don't know. I like that I don't know. I predicted this entire movie. I didn't predict this. I didn't predict the Mysterio giving away Peter Parker's identity. I like the two mid-credit scenes were the only two things that surprised me throughout this entire movie. That and the illusion sequence, those were the only three things that got me. I'll give them that. So now I'm just intrigued. I'm waiting to see what they do with this. It could be really interesting, or they could just dull it out. Does this mean secret invasion is a thing? I don't know. I want it to be a thing. That'd be cool. I'd really like to see a secret invasion done in live action. Of course, they don't have the real amount of heroes to do that. Even if they brought in the MCU heroes, I don't. Everybody's dead. I don't know who. It wouldn't really work out that well, but I'd like to see that. How far away is the Skrull ship? Did they find all the Skrulls? I know it's been like 30 years. It doesn't seem like Talos or his wife or Captain Marvel or anyone's really aged, obviously, because it may be a prequel, but they were still shot in that time period. It's been like took place in the nine. It's been over 30 years. No, not over. I think it may have been like 25 to 30 years since Captain Marvel, and none of these people have really changed that much. So I'm wondering, maybe they found all the Skrulls. I was hoping that'd be like Captain Marvel 2, where it's just Captain Marvel going different planet to planet, trying to find the Skrulls and stuff like that. But I don't know. They looks like they have a whole scroll ship, full of scrolls, and they're working with that. Uh, as for the future prospects of the Spider-Man series specifically, I what's it gonna be? Spider-Man close to home? I don't know. Like for the third movie, I don't. I guess it's just gonna be him trying to clear his name unless they take care of that in like a group movie. I don't. Like the thing is, they could do Venom. Oh wait, no, they can't because Venom's a thing. They could do. I don't know. I don't think Green Goblin's been set up at all. People think that building in like Spider-Man: Homecoming was Green Goblin, but I'm just like, they haven't introduced him at all. Doc Ock. I don't know. They probably don't want to do him either. Uh, I know they aren't going to do. I doubt they're going to do Electro. I doubt they're going to do Lizard. I don't know what's next. Like I'll admit I didn't know Mysterio was coming in Far From Home, so I'm hoping there's just this one random Spider-Man villain they can just pull out of nowhere and just be like, haha, he was here the entire time. Also worked into the background of the MCU in some interesting way that you specifically are going to like because you're an MCU continuity nerd. Ha 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 ha, I got you right there. I hope it's something like that. If it isn't, I don't know. Like, I was lightweight joking when I told everybody, yeah, I don't really care about the MCU that much anymore now that Tony Stark is that now that all the original Avengers are kind of just gone. I don't really care. The only thing I really care about for the MCU is like it's sad to say, but like Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because I was gonna care about Black Panther, but then they killed Killmonger, so I'm just like, oh well, he's down two of his biggest villains. All right, and like I don't really care for Doctor Strange. Even after his like Infinity War and Endgame stuff, I'm just like, okay, you've done all you can do. Goodbye. And I'm interested to see how they do X Men. If X Men's going to be a thing in the MCU, I'm interested to see how they do Fantastic Four. Are we actually going to get a good Doctor Doom? I don't know. I like the only thing that'll really tug me back into the MCU now. I'm still going to watch the movies, but like my care level has just gone down. The only thing that's really going to get me interested is if they do the Galactus. Galactus is where my line would be. Like that. Like if they just put up a movie poster of Silver Surfer and they have like the Galactus eyes in the back of the poster, that's gonna be like, oh well, I guess I'm sucked back in again. I'm interested because I want to see how they're gonna do this. And that's like the only thing that the MCU's got now. So Kevin Feige, if you're listening, bring Galactus. You have him now. Do him good. I don't know how you're going to do him. Especially since Thor's off-world, Doctor Strange is unavailable, and we shouldn't invoke her name. But I want to see what you can do. Because I don't know, like, what do you follow Thanos with? Like, he's Thanos. You, what do you do? I don't know. Because the MCU is drifting into like deep comic lore. Like it's run out of its mainstream stuff. Iron Man initially wasn't mainstream, but now that it was, they've run through all the things that everybody knows. Like you could go up to a random person and be like Thanos, and they'd be like Thanos. But if I were to go up to a random person and be like Galactus, they'd be like Galactus. I if I were to go up to a random person and say the one above all, they'd be like who? I'm intrigued. I want to see what they can do. If they do nothing with it, yikes. Oh well. I I'm just interested. Like this possible secret invasion, that has my attention. Captain Marvel 2, are you gonna be good? Are you going to be good? That's all I want. All right. You better not have Ben Mendelsohn carry another movie. I swear, if Ben Mendelsohn and Samuel L. Jackson have to carry another movie, I'm gonna watch it because I like those two actors. They're fantastic. But gosh darn it, I know Brie Larson can act. I've heard it and I've seen it. Don't do this to me, Marvel. Give her a good script. Give her better direction. Please. Please. That's all I want. Anyway, that's really like the end of the rambling. That's like all I got. The romance subplot was stupid. Mysterio was a good character piece. I like the way he worked into the MCU. I like this whole little group of people. Peter Parker was dumb and ignorant and foolish, but he's a teenager, so all right, let's just smack a pass on that. Is it better than Spider-Man 2? No. Maybe. I don't know. I need to rewatch Spider-Man 2. I think I like Spider-Man 2 more just because I like the way that Peter is worked into that better. I feel like Peter is more like a guy down on his luck rather than a guy blessed with everything that just gives it up because he doesn't want it. I don't know. I feel like I relate to the Peter in Spider-Man 2 more than I relate to the Peter in the MCU right now. Since the Peter in the MCU has everything given to him and just wants to give it all away. And he wanted to give it all away. Now he's back, I guess, but but he seems like he's just back to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and honestly, at this point, he can't really do that. So yeah, now to go back, way back to what I mentioned about going backwards through the MCU. So yeah, I was gonna do it after Endgame launched, but it seems like now is the time. So what I plan to do is I'm gonna go backwards through the MCU. A lot of people go forwards through it, but no, I'm gonna go from Far From Home. Maybe if I really feel like I may go from Endgame to Iron Man, backwards through the MCU, reviewing all the movies, my thoughts on them. I want to rewatch them. I just want to see where my opinions lie on them now, as a comic fan and as an MCU fan. Looking back, it's kind of be like an MCU retrospective, going backwards, seeing how they improve, how they peaked, or if they peaked at any certain point and went downhill or uphill from there. So yeah, that's the plan. So I may do Far From Home like more in depth, less of a ramble, more of like a scripted or at least thought out. Like I don't even have any notes for this. It's just me going off the movie that I saw 2 days ago. If you guys want me to do Far From Home, just tell me in the comment section or just tell me. I'll do Far From Home legit and just line out what I would have done with the movie to either make it better or what I would have changed. Because I plan to do that throughout the entire MCU. And there we go. So this was that guy with the pencil rambling on about Spider-Man Far From Home and the future. So this is that guy with the pencil signing off. See you later. Oh yeah, and if I were to give this movie like a rating, shoot. After complaining so much, I feel like it doesn't deserve an 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Would watch illusion scene and ending again. Would watch entire second half of movie again. Everything else, we can get rid of the first half. Bye.